Hi, everyone, and welcome to this month's Inside AWAI. Our session today is on making money writing without any clients. My name is Rebecca Matter, and I'm joined by my awesome partner, Katie Yeakle. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Rebecca. Hi, everybody.
And we are super – oh, go ahead.
Send back that awesomeness.
Oh, why, thank you.
Right back
We're super excited for today's session. AWAI, we're traditionally – trainers of copywriting, various forms of copywriting in all different fields, whether it's B2B, writing for the web, writing emails, all these different things. But one of the challenges that we often hear from new AWAI members or people interested in the writer's life is, okay, that's all well and good, but what about the whole client thing? That kind of freaks me out. I'm not sure how I'm going to get clients. And while AWAI prides itself on not only teaching you the skills to do the job, but also on how to land clients, that's something we require in every single program. Whether you're learning emails, case studies, whatever it is, we teach you the skills as well as how to get the clients. We still recognize that not everybody wants to work for clients. So today we're going to talk about 3 writing paths that you can choose where you won't have to worry about clients, where you will be the client and you can set your own deadlines and not have the stress that comes with maybe finding clients when you're just starting out. So let's jump in. Our goals for today, I'm going to go over quickly just reasons, obviously, other than just the obvious, you don't have to work with clients, but we're going to go over some of the other benefits to going with the no client route. We'll show you 3 of the best no client paths, and then we'll give you guidance on how to get started with each of those. So as we talk about each of the paths, we'll show you how to get started, and then we'll wrap things up with best practices for building a no client writing business. So first, I came up with 7. I'm sure there's more, but I came up with 7 reasons to choose a path or multiple paths. You can choose all 3 if you want without clients. This is my list. The first one is probably the biggest one, and that is no deadlines. When you're your own client, you don't have to worry about a client needing something on Thursday, maybe not fitting in with your personal schedule or something else happening. There are no deadlines for you. That being said, Kate and I always agree that you need to treat this like a business, and so you want to set deadlines for yourself, but they're not as serious as when a client says it's due noon on Thursday. The second one is there's no creative conflicts. When you're writing for yourself, you don't have to worry about whether or not the client agrees with whether the copy is good or not, or whether the content is good or not. You can write what you want to write, and if nobody agrees, that's okay. The third is an incredible training ground. As you're going to see when we go into these paths, it's one thing to take a program and learn a bunch of skills, to do exercises, to do assignments. It's a whole other thing to actually do the work and do the job and learn how to, write a landing page and learn how to write an email sequence and things like that. So it's an incredible training ground for you to practice all of those skills that you've learned in the programs, whether you've learned it from AWAI, or if you're learning to write emails, you can practice writing emails. If you're learning to do search engine optimization, you can practice that. It gives you this great training ground where you can do those things and feel confident in what you're doing because you have this place where it's an unlimited need. All right, so number 4 is the ultimate flexible schedule. So just like the deadlines, you're not having to meet a certain deadline by Thursday at noon, you have a flexible schedule. So if you only want to work 1 week of a month, if you only want to work on Saturdays or whatever your schedule looks like at work, you can work around anything. So it really is the ultimate flexible schedule. Passive income. You're going to see when we get into these paths, and it's one of the reasons I recommend doing one of these no client paths in addition to a freelance path is passive income. What we're going to show you today are writing paths that you can choose that generate income when you're not necessarily doing a project. So typical freelance work is you work for a client who gives you a project in exchange for a fee. So I want you to write 5 emails. I'm going to pay you $2,000. You write the emails. I pay you $2,000. Without that deal in place, you need to go get another assignment. But with what we're going to show you today, it's passive income. So you're building a business that is going to continue generating you income whether or not you have an assignment at that time. There's no relying on anyone else to generate income. And all 3 of these opportunities have that passive income stream, money that comes in whether you're working on an assignment or not. The number 6 is probably the biggest one for many of us. That's no marketing yourself. And again, we have so many. I understand marketing yourself can be scary. We have so many great tools and great experts and teachers who can help you get past that hurdle. Usually it's just an unknown. The idea of marketing yourself just seems scary because you really don't know the steps to marketing yourself, but we make it really easy. We make it not easy. We make it easier on you to get past that first hurdle. But again, if it totally freaks you out, the idea of selling yourself, the client free writing path can eliminate that because you won't have to market yourself, at least not out of the gate. And then finally, you're building an asset. This is not about work for hire. This is not, again, you write these 5 emails, you get this paycheck. This is an asset. You're building an actual business that can be sold at the end. So whether it's a year from now or 5 years from now, you've generated this business, this revenue-producing machine that someone can then go and purchase. So lots of benefits to client-free writing. And it doesn't have to be one or the other. You can actually use what we're going to show you today to build your freelance business. So if you want to be a freelancer, or you want to be client-free, or you want a combination of both, which is the one I typically recommend, you can actually use them to help the other business. So I'm going to show you how you can use one of the client-free writing paths to actually build your freelance business. So it's a nice, again, for those of you fearing marketing yourself, it gives you a little bit of proof and credibility, if you will, and an easy way to get your foot in the door with clients just by having this other business. Just give me 1 second. All right, so continuing on that path as far as how would you use one of these paths to build your freelance business. The first one is that you're a colleague in the industry. Again, we're going to show you how to build these 3 businesses that don't have clients. That's all about making money as a writer. But once you have them done, they can get you in the door with clients. One, you're going to be a colleague in their industry, right? You are now, if I have a website, let's say, on pet manufacturing, and I want to write in the pet manufacturing B2B space, I can now go in as someone in their industry, right? If I have an email business or I write ebooks on a specific topic, I can go to companies in that industry and say, look at my books, look at my website, look what I've done. I'm one of your colleagues in this space. So it makes it very easy for you to get in without feeling any pressure of like, I'm asking for work and you're a big company and I'm a new freelancer. It kind of eliminates that, even though that concern doesn't need to be there and we can actually squash that as well. It gets rid of that feeling. The second one is it gets your foot in the door. It gives you a reason, and I'm going to show you how that happens, but your business that you're going to set up today can actually get you in the door. It will be the reason why they will take your call. It gives you immediate proof and credibility. Again, because you're a colleague, because you're published, because you have proof that you've written on this topic. You get to go in with this great bucket of samples, if you will, and things that you've done in the industry that you can show potential clients. So you have this immediate proof and credibility, which immediately increases your value and makes the client want you, value you, and expect to pay you more. So that's a whole other thing. You get to become an idea machine. Being a freelance writer, you are going to have an unending need, or your clients are going to have an unending need for copy and content. So whether you're writing articles, whether you're writing emails, whether you're writing social media, whatever freelance work you're doing for clients, the need is unending. We can thank the internet for that. So you have to come up with a lot of ideas. AWAI publishes 2 pieces of content every single day, and we can't publish the same content. We can't send out the same email. We can't do the same social media posts. We can't publish the same web page. It has to all be different. So we have to come up with a lot of ideas, and you as a freelancer will have to come up with a lot of ideas. And by doing one of these businesses today, you'll become an idea machine. You'll have more ideas because you will just be constantly in contact with prospects in that industry and other companies in the industry and what's going on. So you will have great ideas for your freelance clients. And then finally, you'll provide even more value to clients. Along with just looking more valuable, you will actually be more valuable to your freelance clients because, again, you're doing so much training on your own. You're out in the industry. You're writing so much. You're talking to their prospects. You're really involved. And so you bring a lot more value to them. So there's tons of benefits to choosing one of these paths. So let's go ahead and jump into the 3 paths. The first one, I'm going to take the first one, and Katie's going to take the next 2. The first one is something called a money-making website. So what is a money-making website? A money-making website is an informational website on a topic that interests you. It can be about anything, whether it's the color pink to traveling in Australia to which tents are best to fly fishing. I mean, it could be on anything. but it's basically on a topic that interests you. You start by just putting up 20 pages of content, and then you add content regularly to it. And you make money with your website through various marketing channels. So there's lots of different ways, and when we actually teach you how to write money-making websites, we go into all of this stuff. So some of these words might look new, that you've never seen them before, but that's okay. We teach you specifically all these things, but here's how a money-making website makes money. The first one is contextual advertising, called AdSense. You put ads on your website through Google, and when people come to your site and click on those ads, you get paid. So it's called a pay-per-click. Every time somebody clicks on an ad, you get paid by AdSense for sending relevant traffic to other sites. The second one is an affiliate deal. I'm sure you've seen this before. Somebody recommends a product, and when somebody buys the product, you get a percentage of that sale. So AWAI has an affiliate program, for example. So you might see writing blogs recommending our copywriting program. When they do that, they typically they'll put up front that they get an affiliate commission for this, but when they sell a program through their site, we pay them a commission. So that's an affiliate deal, so you can do that. So let's say your money-making website is on new mom safety products, right? Every time you sell one of those products, if you're working with those companies, you would get a commission. So you might have reviews on your website, the best baby gates, the best bathtubs, like whatever the things are. And when people buy those things, you're getting a commission on those. You're getting money for those purchases. So far, the first two, very easy, very passive, AdSense and affiliate deals. As your website grows and you have a lot of traffic, which is what that CPM is, that cost per thousand of visitors to your website, you will sell ad space. I have a really good friend who has a money-making website. This is all she does. She just sells ad space. Basically, companies pay her a couple $1,000s every month to post an image on her website. So she became an ad salesperson without ever intending to do that. She just put up a money-making website, but she got so much traffic that people wanted to just pay her directly. Instead of waiting for them to buy something or clicking on an ad, they just wanted to pay her for the ads themselves. So you can actually sell space ads directly to companies. You can write ebooks on your topic. After you've been publishing content, you start with 20 pages, but pretty soon you'll be at 100 pages, you'll be at 200 pages. You can turn all that content into an ebook. And even though it's on your website, many people will buy the book simply because they want to take it away. They want to get offline. They want to be able to read it at their leisure. They want to be able to highlight it. So you can sell ebooks on your site. You can also write ebooks on content outside of what's been published on your site. So your site might, you might have all these content posts on these topics. Let's go back to the safety thing. Let's say we have all the content on the website is reviews and things about the best products for child safety for new moms. Well, then there might be an ebook, New Mom 101, New Mom's Guide to Safety Proofing Her House, something like that. I'm really coming up with this on the fly, but you could have a book that's obviously relevant to the people coming to your website. You can sell actual products. So, depending on what you're into, whether it's information products or even manufacturing products. One of our great success stories, Christina Gillick, has this website, comfyearrings.com. She actually manufactures the earrings. She started with an information website and then decided to manufacture her own earrings because she couldn't find the products that she wanted to sell. So she went into manufacturing, and now she has a very successful business that started as a money-making website, but where she actually sells her own product. And again, you could sell your products. You could buy other people's products at a lower cost and then sell them directly from your site, or you can do things like information products and training videos and things like that. These last three are a little bit different. They're not relevant to all money-making websites, but they are other money-making opportunities. One is membership. If it makes sense for people to pay to have access to additional content on your site, to get help, to get feedback. We have somebody who's one of our money-making websites from one of our members. She does WordPress, she helps you put up your WordPress website. So her website has a lot of great content on helping you do it for yourself, but then she also sells a do-it-for-you service. So you can use my site and you can do this, or you can pay me and I'll do it for you. So that's our next one, doing it for you and actually doing the job that they're looking to research on your website. And then finally, you can sell your site. Nick Osborne, he's the guy who he teaches our program on writing money-making websites. He has this amazing coffee website that has made him over $250,000 so far, and he regularly makes between $4,000 and $6,000 a month on his site just writing about coffee. But somebody offered him a year ago to sell it for $100,000. He didn't do it because he knows he can make more money, over the course of the next few years on that and he doesn't really do much work on it anymore, so it wasn't worth it to him. But again, you're building this asset. Once you have 100 pages, 200 pages, or like my friend I was telling you about who does the ad space, her website has so much traffic that it's an asset now. It's value. Somebody would buy that site just to take over control of all of that traffic. So you can actually sell your site in the end. Plus, one more big bonus way of making money from your money-making website, again, going back to the freelance. If you are wanting to also be a freelance writer, you can make more money from your freelance writing business simply by having a money-making website. I did an entire webinar on this, and if I were launching a freelance writing business today, this is actually how I would go about it. So like, let's say if I was going into the mommy market, that's what I wanted my freelance clients to be, I would put up a money-making website on a topic of interest to new moms. And I would build that website, and then I would use that website to get my foot in the door with all the clients that I want to work for. And I did a full webinar on this over on we have a sister site called Wealthy Web Writer, and I did a full step-by-step how exactly you do this, where I laid out every single detail. It is 45 minutes by itself, so I can't cover it all here, but I've asked the team to post it on the playback for this page. So for those of you looking to, if you're interested in doing a money-making website and you're also interested in using it to build your freelance business, I highly recommend you go through that. I have had people go through it, and it's free. I lay out all of it for you just because it's such a cool thing to me and such an easy way to build a business. Not easy as in there's not a lot of work. I mean, you still have to work. You're going to have to put up your website. You're still going to have to put yourself out there. But the way that you put yourself out there makes clients want to talk to you. They'll be coming to you, or they'll take your phone call if you're calling them. And so it was more of I just wanted everyone to be successful with this. So I put together this whole webinar, but I've gotten great feedback, people who followed it step by step and are having great success. So we're going to post that on the playback page for this webinar so that you have access to it should you decide to go down the money-making website path. So how much can you make? You know, I talked about Nick. He typically makes about $4,000 a month, but that goes up to $6,000 depending on the season if people are buying coffee and coffee machines. He writes about coffee. One of our other people, Sarah, she brings in $2,000 a month writing juice recipes. This is my favorite, though, Nancy. She gets paid as much as $3,000 every month writing about water. Water. Like, that blows my mind. But there are so many different ways. We actually have pulled together, we have this little catalog, 65 successful money-making websites that you can flip through just to see, you know, these are AWAI members who have taken our program, gone through, put up their websites. But you can go through it and see just what people are writing about. I mean, everything you can imagine from, again, like helping somebody with WordPress to literally the color pink. There's a website just about the color pink that a mom is doing with her daughter. And just really cool stories about how people have turned interest into passive income streams. And some of them are really big. Like there are people who make way more than Nick. Others who are just doing it just for side income or for a training ground to practice their copywriting skills. But what's cool to me is some of the stories of how families are doing this together, and like moms and daughters and full families, and it's just really cool. So that's you can actually access that. Link will be accessible on the playback page as well as in the slides once the webinar is done. So recommend that you check that out. And then how do you get started? Go through that catalog, write down a list of all the things that you're interested in. What's something that you would want to read about and write about on a regular basis? Something that you're truly interested in. Because there are people out there who are equally as interested in it as you. And that's who we're targeting. We're targeting people who are looking for information on the same thing that interests you, whether it's growing box gardens or, organic gardening, or it's, again, fly fishing or the best baby foods or how to eat paleo if you happen to also have this issue. Or, I mean, there's just so many ways, whatever you're interested in, that you can create a money-making website. So you define a topic. You put up your website, and using WordPress nowadays, it's easy and free to do it. All you need to pay for is a domain name and hosting company. You'll choose your revenue path, which we go into. I know this makes it sound simple, and we do go into all of this in great detail in the program. We have a program on money-making websites. Traditionally, inside AWAI isn't about selling you on any programs, though. We're just here to inform and answer questions and get you moving forward, but you can find this on our website. But you'll choose your revenue path, which ones feel good to you. And then you need to have fun with your content. Like, enjoy writing it. You know, we talk about this all the time at AWAI, that your voice is so important in your content and what you write about. It needs to be engaging. For those of you taking our copywriting program, you know, we talk about that a lot, and you're constantly seeing how that works and how that affects things. And have fun with it. Have fun with your audience. Have fun writing about things that are really interesting to you. And then get out and meet your audience. You know, be on social media, answer questions and comments on your blog posts. Be there, be present on your website, and finally become involved in your topic. You know, if you, especially for those of you looking to also build a freelance writing business off of this, really become involved. Get out there and listen to LinkedIn groups, what people are saying, and what are they posting on Facebook, and what are they posting on the products on Amazon in the reviews. What are people asking for? Just get involved, and you will not only, it will make putting up a money-making website easier, but you will become really, really good at what you're doing, which again will make you that much more valuable to potential clients. All right, so let's hop over to number 2. Kate, let me give you the ball.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
And I encourage everyone to look at the catalog, the link that Rebecca showed. That'll be on the playback page. It's just so fun to see what people come up with and how creative they are, and all the topics that are of interest. It's really a fun thing to do. All right, so I have the ball now, so I'm ready to go. And so Rebecca talked about creating your own money-making websites, and basically that starts with finding a passion and then creating this website, continuing to update it, and finding your following and your voice and all those great things. All those things tie into the next 2 opportunities as well, and they're really at the heart of, I think, what we encourage at AWAI and what we're helping people to tap into. So now the second one, a great client-free writing path, is to publish your own ebooks. And you'll write about topics that are of most interest of you, whatever you're passionate about, whatever you have expertise about, whatever the kind of conversation that you want to have with people. If you don't necessarily want to write it all yourself or even any of it, you just have the idea, or you know what audience you want to tap into, you can hire writers or you can hire editors. You know, all of these things. This is your own little business, your own publishing company. So you can bring in as much help as you want, or you can do as much yourself as you want. And then there's, you know, a variety of ways of selling them. Kindle makes it, Amazon makes it really easy. There's a few other of the online sites that make it very easy. You just update, they do all the selling, you get a check every month. Or you can create a website and sell it yourself. There's lots of different paths you can go, and it really is very friendly, very, you know, even for non-tech people. And it is the situation where, you know, you can make money while you're asleep, because, you know, Amazon works all night and all day and every day. So it's, even if it's not something that you want to do full-time, it's just a great additional revenue stream that you can have, you can come and that you can replicate. You know, once you do any of these things one time, it's so much easier to replicate, and you know, it gets very exciting. So, like I said, you know, you can start your own publishing label, the Sue Smith books, and start it that way. There's lots of software and materials and tools to help you do that. You can go through ebook distributors like the big ones. There's affiliates. You find other people who have a audience that you're looking for, and you ask them to promote it and sell it, and you would split the profit some way. Or like you know, create your own money-making website about this. That's where you can get the content, and you can keep adding to it and sell things there. Now, there's, you know, when somebody says, oh, write a book, you know, where do I start? You know, there's lots of ways to skin this cat. And, you know, I'm primarily talking about nonfiction. I'm not talking about poetry. I'm not talking about fiction or short stories, although all those things could work as well. But for the point of this conversation, I am talking nonfiction. And so here are some ideas that might trigger ideas for you. And these are courtesy of Bob Bly, who is one of our experts as when we teach people how to do this. You know, he's published over 80 books, you know, some through traditional publishing, but, you know, the majority now he publishes himself as ebooks. And, you know, just a little side note on Bob, the very first one that he did, he sold 1,281 copies. He grossed $40,000, and his initial investment was $175. So, you know, and that was over the course of 3 years. So that's what's possible. You know, he has other stories. You know, one made $10,000, another is up to like $90,000. And, you know, not all are hits, but you keep adding them up and you get one or two that are a hit, and it really can have a significant impact on your life and your lifestyle. But so here are some ideas from Bob as to how you can actually create your own ebooks. One is if you have knowledge or expertise, if you know, and then you just write from that place. Another idea, especially if you are starting a money-making website, put together a collection of articles. If you have a blog, you know, write the blog for 6 months or a year, and then figure out how they fall into a book. You know, how would you group them, organize them? What would be a logical way of presenting them in a book form? You can get contributors. You can have, you know, your own chicken soup for the soul kind of thing, where you have, you know, 20 different people writing in stories or their take on whatever the topic is. Or, you know, it could be 2 or 3, whatever that number is. There are the public domain collections, which are just a gold mine. You know, you go in and find a book that's in public domain. You either republish it, you add some, you know, you either add a foreword or you add notes to it or whatever that is. You know, a good example of that is, oh boy, scientific advertising, which, you know, every copywriter should read. You know, the beauty of that is that's actually in public domain right now, but I know several writers who have taken that and added their own thoughts and notes to it, and then it becomes a brand new thing. But, you know, check out that, and there could just be something that sparks an idea. You know, people love how-tos. So if you have some expertise in how to do something, you know, 5 steps to growing the best roses, you know, 21 ways to travel Europe on, you know, $10 a day. You know, whatever it is, these how-tos, how to build, you know, a better mousetrap, those make great ebooks. Collections, lists, you know, people love that stuff. You know, that's the top 100 things to do in, you know, your hometown or whatever that is. These all make viable ebooks, and they're not, you know, pulling, you know, not having to bleed over pages. They're not having to be super creative or inspired or where you're bearing your soul. You know, it's not that type of writing. That's not what we're talking about here. You know, forms. People love forms. Put together a collection of you know, for the new homeowner, all the forms that you need. I have a friend who just had a pool installed, and she took pictures of it every step of the way, and she ended up with this like really great little, I forget what she calls it, the Happy Homeowner's Guide to Building a Pool, and it's really useful step-by-step advice that, you know, anybody that's thinking about having a pool installed will find very useful. And then I touched on this, annotate a classic, like for instance, like what sometimes, you know, people do with collections that may be in the public domain or something like that, where you just kind of go through and put some notes or your thoughts or your spin on it. So, I mean, those are all things that all of us can do. And, you know, I think it's really exciting. And, you know, there's so many benefits to when you go this route. And, you know, beyond the money, you know, it's true, you will make, with ebooks, you're capturing pretty much all of the profit. You know, if you're going through Amazon, you know, Kindle or one of those sites or affiliates, you know, you have to give up a little bit, but it's certainly not like just getting, you know, the majority of the minority of the revenue if it were to go through a traditional publisher. You know, you're not just looking at a 10% royalty, you know, it's more like you're getting 90% or more. You know, you have a lot more elasticity as far as the price goes when you're creating something. The more unique it is, the more, the higher level of expertise that you're adding to it. That helps raise the price more than, you know, perhaps a traditional book you'd find in a bookstore. You don't need a lot of money to get started. Like Bob, you know, $175, and that was probably for, you know, he probably had somebody even help write or edit or lay it out or something like that, but it's minimal as far as that goes. You know, you don't have to worry about inventory or buybacks or any of those other things that go along with it. So, you know, those are all kind of money-related benefits, but things that go beyond this. This is a great way of establishing yourself as an expert. You know, for a lot of people, that's how they launch their careers. And, you know, it all starts with a book, and you send that out to, you know, for instance, if you wanted to be the copywriting expert for the mortgage industry, you create an ebook on, you know, what mortgage brokers need to know about how to connect with their prospective customers. If you become that guy that teaches them how to do it, you become that expert. It gives you visibility, credibility, and admiration because, you know, you'll be a published author. So those are all great perks that go along with this. You know, how much money you make, it depends. You know, Bob is certainly on the higher end, but, you know, you hear these stories all the time about people that have made six figures, you know, over the course of a couple years. It typically doesn't happen overnight. But I think the thing to think about it is once you get multiple books out there working for you, that's when I think it really starts to add up. But it is very possible to break six figures in, you know, 12 to 24 months. And, you know, this statistic tells it a lot. You know, ebook sales are projected to reach $13.7 billion by just next year. So, you know, that's a lot of money to be distributed among all the authors that write these books. So it's just something to think about, and it's viable, and it's something that if you're on this call, then you have the interest, and I bet you have the ability as well too. And you know, we do have Bob has put together a great program that can walk you through all these steps. So I think with the right guidance and direction, this is a great opportunity for people to have additional income or really turn to it full time. So as far as getting started, I think the first thing is you decide what kind of book you want to write. You know, you can go over that list of that we just went over, and there's more too. That's certainly not all of them, but what is it that you want to say? What is it that you're looking to achieve? Then do research. You know, go to Google, go to Amazon, see what else is already published on this topic. Get a gauge for what the interest is in the topic. Find the websites, the forums, the communities where whatever it is that you want to write about is being talked about, and get a good gauge for the interest there. and then do a SAP analysis. And that is, first of all, focus on the subject. What are you writing about? You know, what is it that you have to say? Then you want to think about who is your audience, who are you writing to, where can you find them, what is important to them, what keeps them up at night, what answers do you have for them, and then what's your purpose? You know, what's the why? What are you hoping to accomplish by this? Is it to build a bigger business? Is it to establish yourself as an expert? Is it to just provide some insight, some answers? Knowing what that purpose is, that does drive the train a bit. And I think these aren't quick questions. You know, I would challenge you to spend, you know, a couple hours on each one, really, really thinking about it, because the clearer your answers are, the clearer your path is, the easier it's going to be for everything else to fall in place. So I just want to say one more time, I highly recommend getting some additional help from somebody like Bob Bly, who's had so much experience. You know, we have a lot of free resources on our website, but Bob's program really does walk you through it, as far as even the technical stuff of how to upload it and get it designed and all of that. But he spends a lot of time, too, helping you figure out what the core idea is and, you know, what you're trying to accomplish. Were you going to say something, Rebecca?
Just that we'll give you a link at the end, so you don't need to go searching for it. We're good with providing all that for you.
And then the third that we're talking about today is similar. It does touch on these other two. I won't spend quite as much time on it, but it's creating your own email business, your own e-letter, where you are communicating with a group of people on a weekly, monthly, daily, you know, whatever basis is appropriate and makes sense for you. And this is really where you become, in most cases, in 99% of the cases, it's kind of guru-driven, it's kind of personality-driven. So you're basically starting a conversation and you're building it around yourself, where you're the expert, you're the personality that's engaging. You know, you should try to be as specific as possible, meaning, you know, what is it that you want to talk about? Is it some health topic that's important to you? Is it some life building? Is it business building? Is it, you know, whatever it is, you do need to have a kind of a USP, unique selling proposition. You need to have a big promise that you're going to deliver. You know, why is it that I'm going to want to read this every day? What am I going to be getting out of it? That's what I want to know as your reader. And you need to hang on to that and have that be the drive of what your content is. And then you need to build a list and email it regularly. And again, we can go into much more detail as far as how you actually do that, because there are some right and wrong ways to do it. You want to be sure that, you know, people are registering appropriately, and, you know, so it's not spam, and, you know, and all these other things. And you want to do it in a way that people are excited to hear from you, that they are entertained, that they are getting good information, and that they want to keep hearing more from you. So it's important to have an understanding of how all that works. And then once you get this e-letter going and you have a following and you're engaging your readers, that's when it's like a perfect time to offer products or sell other people's products. And, you know, and then that can become a very lucrative business. That's how, you know, that's basically information marketing is what we're talking about. And, you know, that's a huge piece of the direct response world. So, you know, the ways you make money is by selling information, by selling products, by selling services to your list. This is your customer base. Your e-letter is the store, and these are your customers. So you want to have things for your folks to buy. You can also have advertising where other companies are paying you to advertise their products and services to your list. You know, this is another great way to build a freelance writing business. You know, there's a number of free e-letters that really are all about just building awareness and recognition for the person's brand. You know, John Ford has a great e-letter for copywriters called Copywriters Roundtable. You know, he doesn't sell anything, but he uses it as, well, he loves copywriting and he loves to talk about, you know, everything that he's sharing, but, you know, it has established him in as an expert outside of the world that he's already an expert in. You know, Bob Bly, again, he has a fantastic e-letter, and it's a great sales vehicle for him as well. I mean, every industry, you know, you can't think of really any industry where this type of marketing and this type of, well, product or service, you know, whatever you want to call it, you know, where e-letters don't make sense, is I guess what I'm saying. So, you know, those are just a few of the reasons why creating your own e-letter makes sense, especially for copywriters. And, you know, there are more ways of making money as well, too, but those are the primary ones. And it's a great way just to get writing, to, you know, to have a deadline, to get that kind of discipline, to be sure that you're writing sharp enough so that people are interested. They're not saying unsubscribe, that they want to know more. It's a great way to use your writing muscle. Now, you know, I mentioned Bob, I mentioned John Ford. You know, a few people that are just really standouts in our world are, you know, Ben Settle. He has a fantastic e-letter that exemplifies exactly what we're talking about. Same with Matt Fury, Sean McCool. You know, they all are these gurus that have these, you know, engaging personalities that people just want to know more from. Valerie Young is another. She started her e-letter called Changing Course. You know, she was the dreamer in residence, and that's what she talks about. Now she has more people contributing. But, you know, it started with just her writing an e-letter to people about something that she's passionate about, and that's helping people change careers. So the opportunities really are limitless as to where you could take an e-letter business of your own. So it's definitely something to think about. So how to get started: pick a topic, whatever that is, whatever it is that you want to talk about, develop your voice. And, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to, it can be exaggerated, it can be, you know, you can have some fun with this, you know, but it needs to be authentic. It needs to care about, it has to, you know, when you're talking to your readers, you have to let them know that you care about them. You're not going to talk down to them. You're not going to, you know, it has to be somebody that they would want to invite into their home. You need a website and some social media just to help promote, because this is all about keeping the conversations going, and you want to be relevant and visible. And then you write and send emails regularly. You can then post them on a blog. You know, you can do other things with them, but there does have to be regular communication, and that communication does have to deliver whatever it is that the people are signed up to get. And then you need to just decide how you're going to grow your business and how you're going to get those readers to a point where they can subscribe. And again, we can give you a lot more insight into that. We'll give you a link at the end here, but it's not brain surgery. It's not difficult. It does take a little bit of time, and it takes effort, and it takes disciplined writing, I would say. So now just quickly, I feel like I've been going on a little long here because I get excited about this thing. But just to quickly recap the benefits of all three businesses. With all three of the things that we've talked about, you're the boss. You're in control. You decide when you publish, what you do. You know, all of those things are up to you. It's not somebody else telling you or editing you or censoring you or any of those things. This is your deal. They're great training ground for copywriting because basically what you're doing is persuading. And if it's a website, an ebook, or an e-letter, you are living and breathing persuasive writing because it's all about keeping the readers engaged in one way or another. You get instant credibility with all three of these. You know, you're a published author, you're a published website owner, all of these things. You're equal in the eyes of Google, as far as when people are doing research on these topics, you're going to be there too, and that does have credibility with it. You're building an asset. You never know where these things are going to lead you, and all three of the things that we've talked about do have real dollar values attached to them that could become assets that could be sold. No clients. Although, since Rebecca and I are clients for so many people, we don't know that being a client isn't necessarily a bad thing. There are plenty of great clients out there, but it's nice to have no clients if that's a stress point for you, or just to have a little mixture. That goes back to being your own boss as well. And finally, last but not least by any means, all three of these platforms are great ways to actually build your freelance writing business and to help get you the recognition and visibility that helps drive your career forward. Oops. And so best practices, this really, this is kind of universal for everything that we teach at AWAI and kind of the values that go along with everything. But treat it like a business. Whatever it is that you're doing, these aren't hobbies. These aren't something that you're just kind of meddling with. If this is what you want to do, treat it like a business. You're the CEO of the business. Do what you got to do to make it successful, and make sure that others around you give it that same weight and that same importance. Don't try to brush it off as like, oh, well, treat it like a business. You need to set goals and stay on track. Think maybe 12 months out, then break that out to monthly, weekly, daily. That's so important to really anything that you want to accomplish. And then, again, be your own boss. Make sure that you're following that and being true to it. You want to become, whatever topic you decide, if it's for a website, book, whatever, you want to become an expert in this. You want to know more than pretty much anybody else, and do whatever that takes. If it's something that you're passionate about, that's just like a perk of the job. But if you don't have that knowledge, that passion, it's going to shine through, and you just won't be as successul as you could be. This is critical. This next one is you want to find out where your audience lives. You want to know where they're hanging out, what is important to them, and then you want to connect with them. You want to understand what's keeping them up at night. What are they excited about? What are they fearful about? What's really important to them? And, you do that by checking out the Facebook groups, by going on forums, by finding out, reading the same publications that they're reading, just trying to empathize as much as possible. Just one thing that I do and that I encourage writers to do is, you think about where your prospect or your customer, whoever your reader is, where are they right now and where do they want to be? And then how can you be the bridge to help them get there? And, how can you do that with love and compassion? And it just makes it so much more worthwhile and so much more authentic, and that rings through. And then you want to leverage your business into more opportunities. Be really open to see where these things can take you, and the people that you'll meet, and so often people think that they're starting down this one path and that's what that's where they're going to go, and then all of a sudden, they end up somewhere else that they never even thought of, but it was just because they were open to the possibility and put themselves out there. So I encourage that for whatever your path is, that you want to be thinking about how you can leverage what you're doing and then being open to these opportunities when they come to you. All right, we mentioned 3 programs that are related to the things that we talked about. The first is how to write money-making websites, and this link will be posted. The other is Bob Bly's Ultimate Guide to eBook Writing Success. And then finally, how to build email lists, the fastest, easiest, and most profitable way to get more traffic, more prospects, and more sales. Now, all 3 of these are written by the top experts. Brian Edmondson is the list building, Nick Osborne, the website, and Bob Bly's ebooks. All 3 of these experts are living, breathing, in the trenches, doing exactly what they're preaching here. And they're updating, if something new comes along, or if there's a new idea or a new technique, they tell us about it and we update these programs. All of these programs are what we call living programs, meaning that whenever there's an update, you get that as part of your initial purchase. So, rest assured we have your back as far as that goes. And we also have your back by introducing you to leaders in these particular platforms that are doing it and, super successful and super generous, great teachers, and really excited about helping others have the same success that they've had. Okay, I think that's all from me. Rebecca, anything you want to add?
No. There are so many questions. So good. A lot of interest in the money-making website. I'm getting a lot of questions about that as far as time and competition and monetization. There's a ton of free information on the AWAI website. Just go to our site and search money-making website, search Nick Osborne. You'll find so much on our site, from choosing a topic to monetization. I mean, it is a very easy concept, and doing it is easy if you have the step-by-step plan. And that program let me just flip back. Katie, can you just flip back to the other page? The program on money-making websites, it is a 7-week program. Nick literally walks you step-by-step through all the things. Each one of these topics would take us at least an hour to cover as far as choosing the right topic. Then one session on monetization. There's so many ways. How do you drive traffic to your website? How long does it take to build a website? All of that stuff is answered in the program because, again, each of those topics requires so much detail. And we do take you through everything step by step so that you feel confident in your topic. But the main idea is to go out and think about what you're interested in, for one, okay? And then think about, what are people who are also interested in that topic searching for? So first we're going to look to see what's out there, right? And so we're going to go to Google and we're going to pretend, one of the examples was about breast cancer survivor support, emotional support. So I'm going to put my feet in the shoes of the person looking for emotional support as a breast cancer survivor or as somebody going through breast cancer. And I'm going to think, what are the key phrases? What would they type into Google if they were looking for that support? What are the phrases that they would use? So you'll start to type in there, and then you will see what's out there. So that's how we're looking at our competition. What's out there? What are the people searching for, and what are they finding when they're searching? There are also key phrase tools that will tell us what phrases they're using and how many searches. So this gets a little bit technical, but we show you how to do this. But you literally can get lists of key phrases and say, okay, when people are looking for this thing, they really search on this phrase a lot, or I thought it was this. What I'm finding is it's really that. And so we get data on how many people are looking for things in your topic. So you're out there, you're doing research as someone looking for information, and you're seeing what's out there. Is there a lot of stuff out there? Now, hopefully you find something out there, because if you find nothing out there, the internet is so big. If you find nothing, you might have gone into a topic that's so small, it's just not, there's nothing there. There's not enough people searching for it. So it's counterintuitive, but you kind of want to be in a space where there are other people already there, because that means that there's money in that space. So you look at the competition. Then you flip it around. Now you know who is out there talking about this topic that you're interested in. Now you think about, from a company's perspective, what are the businesses and what are the businesses that are interested in that audience that you're now trying to attract, whether it's tomato growing, whether it's new moms, whether it's breast cancer survivors. Who are the companies out there who would be interested in targeting that audience, and what products would they be selling them, right? So my friend who has a work-at-home website, she partners up with a lot of companies who are direct sales companies, things like Mary Kay and Cabby and Avon. Her people are work at home. That's a work at home audience. They're interested in working at home. These direct sales companies are interested in reaching work at home people because they have a work at home opportunity. So what companies are interested in my audience, and what are they trying to sell? And if you can identify both sides of that, like, okay, I've got an audience where clearly people are searching for this information, and I've got people who are clearly making money off of that audience, I've got the perfect formula then for a money-making website, because I know, A, I'll be able to attract an audience, and B, I'll be able to find people who want to sell to that audience. And that's really what a money-making website is about. It's about creating an audience, just like with ebooks, just like with email. It's about creating an audience of like-minded people interested in a particular topic that you're writing about, so that the advertisers and the companies of the world can come and then sell to them. You have this captive audience, and now who are they going to listen to when these people want to sell? They're going to listen to you more than they would the companies directly. So that's in a money-making website. So that's kind of like the 30,000-foot view. How do you choose a topic that's profitable? So there you go. And then as far as like getting it out there, how long does it take? I'm seeing that question a lot. That's kind of like asking how long is a piece of string, because really it could take a day, it could take a month. It really depends on what you're doing. If you just build your website and you step away from it and do nothing, it's going to take a little bit longer. If you build your website and you start posting content on other relevant blogs, and you start participating in social media, and you are publishing articles and swapping content with people and things like that, you're obviously going to get a lot more traffic a lot faster. There's a lot of ways to get traffic to your site, and we go into that in a lot of detail. But again, if you just put it up and, you know, if you build it, they will come, it's going to take longer. But if you're actively trying to drive people to the site, it's going to go a lot faster. And then as far as monetizing it, how fast does that happen? This is not a get-rich-quick kind of thing. At AWAI, we don't really talk about, you know, that's not really our business. We're not into the easy button. We're not into the get-rich-quick. We're about teaching you how to build real businesses. So this is not about making $1 million by Tuesday. You know, that's not, you're never going to hear that kind of stuff from us. This is about building a business. And so I've had people make money in their first month. I've had people make thousands in their first month. I've had people make thousands over the course of a year. You know, it really depends. There's no right answer. It depends on, are you doing the work? Are you doing what we're instructing you to do? And are you out there marketing yourself and marketing that website? So it really depends. But we'll show you the best ways and the fastest ways, and we're going to give you the skills that you need to do it efficiently and effectively. But a lot of it's going to fall on you. The same goes with all of our programs. Just as an aside, you know, copywriting, B2B writing, all the stuff that we teach, we're not trying to teach you how to do a skill real fast and get out there and, you know, it's really about acquiring a valuable skill. And in order to acquire a valuable skill, it's going to take some work, right? The reason companies pay you for it is because it's not an easy button. It's something that you acquire, that you train and you learn and you get better and stronger, and so you're just better at it, and then you're more valuable, and then you get to charge higher fees. So this is like a, you know, this is a long-term thing. Now, are there opportunities that will make you money faster than others? Sure, just like with anything, right? I can learn how to write a newsletter much faster than I can learn how to write a direct response sales letter. Now, ultimately, the direct response sales letter is going to make me a better writer at everything, and I'll be able to make more money as a writer. But in the short game, if you're looking to get up and running fast, then something like newsletters, something like ebooks, you know, you can write these things faster. So it all depends. But just know that all of this, none of this is quick. None of this is get rich quick. That's not our business. So there's plenty of businesses out there who do that, but that's not us. We are showing you how to build real businesses, real assets that make real income. You know, we want to show you how to make a living as a writer. Even if just making a living is fair income. You know, you've got kids and you just want a little extra cash on the side. That's okay too. We can teach you how to do that. But this stuff is, you know, you're learning. You're learning real skills that are valuable, that can maybe be applied to other industries, no matter what you do in your life, if you learn this stuff, if you learn to write copy like the way that we teach you, you will be better at everything, at your job, at writing, at selling your fiction, whatever the thing is, you will be better. So I'll get off my soapbox now.
I got two questions I want to be sure we get to.
Okay.
The first one is from Joan, and she says, I'm a travel writer, journalist, and there's a lot of L's in there. Travel writer, journalist, and photojournalist. Where do you suggest my niche might be? AWAI and Great Escapes and a lot of emails. I get lost sometimes. I'm confused about which programs I should consider. Well, Joan, we did, first of all, I think it's great that you have these travel writer, you know, these skills it's such a great skill set. But I think Rebecca and I did one of these Inside AWAIs a few months ago about how to find your niche. And because it's really such a personal thing, and we walk you through it. Pam Foster joined us. It's available for free, and I think I would like for you to go through that, and then if you still have questions, then either of us would be happy to talk to you via email about them. But I'm confident that that webinar will help you and give you that direction that you need, because you know, there's so many different ways you can go, and with the photography and writing skills, they're just going to help whatever niche you end up deciding on. So we'll post a link to that. And then, oops, where's my other question? So, shoot, let me find it.
Is it from Sherry, listening in while I'm working on the money-making website today?
No.
Oh, no. That one was marked. Well, Sherry, I like your comment. Hi to you.
Wow, a lot more came in just now.
Oh, that's so funny. Sherry's actually listening while she's working on her money-making website. That's awesome,
Good
Sherry.
For you, Sherry.
Inside AWAI is a great lunch and learn, and the opportunity to hang out with Rebecca and Katie and Cameron. Just wanted to say hi and thank you. That's awesome, Sherry. That's
cool. Okay, so the other, oh, shoot. Okay, keep going. Oh, wait, here it is. It's from Mara Lee. And for creative artist types, how viable would email lists be except for informing them of new products? Well, I think if you want to start an e-letter, I think you do have to have a message to send, and you need to figure out what that is. You know, as far as whatever is going on in your industry, whatever is of interest to you, whatever of interest to other creative artist types. I would hone in on that first, and what is the conversation that you can have with these people and that they want to hear, and then the product part comes afterward. So I think if you want to go that route, and you know, people don't have to do all of these. These are just options. But if you want to go that route, I do think it's important that you're pretty passionate about wanting to have a specific conversation with a specific group of people. And then I think it just kind of builds from there. Oh, boy. Let's see. Oh, we thank you, and we love doing these, so thanks for all the thanks. These are so much fun. Tamara's asking, can a money-making website be done on travel writing? So I'm really struggling today. Like traveling in my region. Absolutely. There are, that's such a hot topic, and there can't be enough information for people that do money. I'm planning a trip, and I found a money-making website of a lady that puts together itineraries just for this specific area that I'm going to. I mean, it was a godsend to me. So, yes, you know, different kinds of travel, locations or ways to travel or anything travel-related, people are super interested in. All right, Graciana, time to get out of bed and get
she's in
started.
Australia.
Yes. All right.
Confidence building programs, essays, examples on the AWAI website. Mike, there's tons. If you just go through our archive, there's so much confidence stuff. I really like stuff. Joshua Boswell has, if you're looking for programs and direction, his Getting Clients Roadmap is fantastic as far as step-by-step. Nick Usborne, though, is probably the one that I recommend the most. If you look at his articles online and in our catalog, if you look for marketing confidence, it's just like the name implies, it's about building confidence, but not unlike the woo-woo, yay, look how confident you are, but more in the, here's what you have to do to build your business. And so by knowing what it is that you have to do, it builds your confidence at the same time. It's not like a setting out to build confidence, but rather it's set up in 12 steps. You start walking through it, and you just do each thing that Nick tells you to do before you move on to the next thing, so that you know you've done the right thing, you've done them in the right order, and that you know you're doing it, you know, you're finishing the task before you step onto the next task that's necessary. So all the while you're building your business and not really even thinking about it. All of a sudden you're down the path and you've built this business and it didn't really feel that scary. And then that's what ultimately gives you the confidence, because you understand now what it is that you need to do to build your business, and you did the work. So it's called confidence. I'm going to go to the catalog. And actually, Cam, so this is something that Kay and I like to do. If you can post it in member services, this makes them crazy. But if you can plan to post a link for marketing confidence on the playback page, I'm going to post this for you now in the Q&A, but don't buy it if you're going to buy it, because it's $4.97, and we typically discount this program significantly when we're promoting it. We'll discount it down to it's under $200. So I'm posting it there, but give me like 30 minutes or so, and I will have the team flip the discount that we normally offer it on. And that way, when you guys go to look at it, if you decide to buy it, you can get the discounted rate and not, because I don't want you to pay full price and then stay in a couple months at a lower price. So nobody call member services just yet, because that will make them crazy. Every time we inside AWI, I get an IM that says, did you offer something at some price that we don't know anything about? So I'll take care of that, and it will be on your playback page tomorrow. Cameron said, give us more than an hour, please. It will be there tomorrow. As far as joining the affiliate program, yes, you can if you love our programs and you have a website where there would be, where you feel that there's a fit to sell our program. We have an affiliate program. It is currently under revision. We're getting ready. We moved over to an Infusionsoft system, and we're setting up this whole new thing. But it is on the AWI website on awaionline.com/affiliate. And we'll review your site. You just have to tell us how you're going to promote our products. We'll review it, and if there's a fit, then definitely, by all means, sign up. But we'll be launching that again in the next month or so you can just stay tuned for that.
Nicole is asking, would you recommend incorporating podcasts into your sites as an alternative revenue stream? And sure. You know, again, it's about communicating whatever message you want to communicate in whichever way makes most sense for you. But absolutely, if that's something you're comfortable with, and again, it's really about the messaging and how you're going to connect with people and how you're going to do that. That's what you focus on first, in my opinion. And then the formats and all that other stuff kind of falls into place. But it's about the communication, the conversation.
That's so weird. I literally just wrote everything falls into place, and then you said it. I'm answering, I swear to God, I'm answering Jen's question. It says, great listening. Amazing how well you understand this and how it gets easier to comprehend you, train with you, learn, and begin to do. And I was saying, exactly, the more you get into this, the more everything, and I literally wrote falls into place, and then you said it. But it does. It's like this, when people come to AWI, because there's so much misunderstanding in the industry of how you make a living as a writer. You know, people talk about getting articles published and becoming the next best-selling author and all this stuff. It just isn't, I mean, that's so rare. You know, you're not going to make a living writing magazine articles. You're not going to make a living as a best-selling author unless you're some of the lucky few, which is great if you are, but that's not possible for the majority. And really, you can make a lot more money. We have most of our success stories who were fiction authors. They came to copywriting because their fiction wasn't enough to let them not work a full-time job, and they wanted to have more time to write their fiction. So they did copywriting to make a real living so that they could support their passion, which is their fiction writing. So I think when people come to AWI and we open the door and they realize that, oh my gosh, there's like 50 opportunities on how to make a real living as a writer, it's overwhelming. And it can be like drinking from a fire hose. You'll hear that phrase a lot from our members and from our success stories. But the more you immerse yourself, the more you get involved, the clearer the picture becomes. It's almost like you walk in and there's just a lot of noise and people and ideas and opportunities and money and client, all this stuff. And your brain can't even take it in because it's so big. And then as you sit through these webinars and you ask questions, all of a sudden your questions, we see it in the Q&A. We can tell somebody where it's their first webinar versus like their third or fourth. Their questions are becoming more specific, more focused. I can tell that they're getting closer down the path and that they're moving forward based on what they're asking. You'll see that happening. You'll feel it, and everything will make more sense to you, and the jargon and the opportunities, and you'll start to see, you know what, that path isn't for me because I'm really interested in more of like this, and all of a sudden, half the opportunities will drop away, and then half of what's left will drop away, and then all of a sudden, just a couple will appear, and you'll see how they connect. Like someone was asking me, could the email list be an offshoot of the money-making website business? Exactly. Yes. You have a money-making website, you can totally sell ebooks. You can totally build an email list off that and create one business that incorporates all three. You start to see how all the pieces come together. As those of you doing copywriting, you start to see why companies value what you do so much. So we're talking today about not working with clients, but being a freelance writer, there's never been a better opportunity. I mean, the internet has created a ridiculous amount of content and copy needs for companies. We have to be online now. There's no option. In order to be online, you have to publish content. So even if you're just building widgets and that's your business, sorry, you now also have to be a publisher. You have to have an online presence. You have to have a newsletter. You have to be on social media. You have to have a website. Like you have to have all this content. So writers are needed and necessary, and so they're valued. So there's never been a better time. So for those of you in that freelance space as well, you start to get it. Like the more you're with us and the more you learn and the more you expose yourself to clients and coming to boot camp and things like that, all of a sudden it just all fits together and you see, okay, this is the real opportunity. And I only need 5 clients. I don't need, people are jumping in feast of famine and jumping from here and how am I going to find all these jobs and these assignments and these jobs, all this stuff. All of a sudden it becomes very focused. And you're like, okay, I really need 4 clients. I only need 5 clients. I had lunch the other day with one of our old in-house copywriters. She was a full-time copywriter for us. And she was, she had a 2-year contract with us and she moved off into freelance. And I said, oh, how's freelance going? She's like, it's great. I only need 1 more client and I'm done. And I'm waiting because people are asking me to take them on, but I want a specific kind of client. And so she only needs a few, and she works 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours at night. She has a brand new baby and doesn't really want, a schedule anymore. She wants to be able to work when she needs to. And so the freelance life is a great one as well. I don't want to push everyone into the no client path. But anyways, to go back to the whole thing, yes, the more you immerse yourself, the more you involve yourself and get to know this stuff, the pieces will fall into place, and all of this just becomes, I hate using the word easier, clearer. It becomes clear. All right.
Susan's asking, how would I release my free ebook for sale? I was giving it away to clients. Well,
I think we answered that one.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Well, go ahead. Maybe it was a same question.
Oh, okay.
Stop selling it. That's the first part. Or stop giving it away.
Yeah, right. Although, I mean, if you're using it to build clients, if it's a lead magnet for clients, that's one thing. But first thing is you put a price on the cover, and then your clients feel like they're getting something of more value for free, which is a good thing. And then, again, Bob really does spell all this out in his program, but you go through the Kindle system and just get it posted out there. You can put a price on it at any point.
All right. Oh, someone's got a story due to our editor by tomorrow. Go, 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 Joan.
And
I think we got everything else.
And we got them all. How many questions? Oh, I love this.
Affiliates. I'm sending you the link, Michael, to the affiliate program, but again, it's under construction, so it'll be up again, hopefully within the month.
Cindy's looking forward to meeting us at boot camp. We're looking forward to meeting you too, Cindy. They'll be here in no time.
Seriously. Public domain, just Google public domain. There's so much out there. I answered a question earlier on how you can tell I just Googled how can I find out if something is in the public domain and got, 20 credible sources. So there's a set of rules as far as how long it goes and things like that as republished. And so I recommend everybody just Google that stuff. How can I same wavelength? Can I write articles for AWAI and get paid for it? Absolutely. And it's so funny. I literally just emailed our copy chief this morning saying, can you please write a content page for the AWAI website that answers how can I write for AWAI? So that will be on our website shortly, and we'll send a news item out and post it to social media once it's ready. But you're always welcome to submit ideas to our editors of all of our publications, Wealthy Web Writer, B2B Writing Success, Barefoot Writer, Writer's Life, The Golden Thread, all of it. Just write the editors if you have an idea. But we're launching this new blog soon that's going to need tons of writers, and we are going to publish the guidelines on how to submit for that. So stay tuned to that.
Okay, I think we're good. Oh, and really, this is a great group. What good questions.
Seriously.
Really makes it so fun.
All right, guys, we hate to say goodbye. This is the part that we don't like. We love doing this bit.
We do. And, if there's a topic you'd like us to cut, these really are your sessions. We started them just to have more conversations about things that we know a lot of people have questions about. So if there's a topic that you really like to hear from us, let us know. And, be sure and check the page that has all the past recordings that we've done. There's really some really great, useful information and really great questions. I think it's such a great opportunity to learn from all these questions. That's why we really appreciate your participation and having some fun in the Q&A. So just know that these, we've done about one a month now since January. So there's some resource we're happy to share with you. Okay, let's call it.
No, I can't do it. It's just so fun. No, but okay. All right, guys. Well, good luck. If you need anything, we're here, and we'll see you next month for Inside AWAI. And that's it. Later, Katie. Have
Bye.
a great day. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.